All right, so here's the deal, you guys. I've been preaching something to the management staff. I talked about it at the instructors comp team, and I want to talk about it again because I would say that probably if you had 100 principles of wisdom, this is probably one of the ones that are really up there in strength. Okay? And that is this. And if you want, write this down, take notes. Everything is hard. Everything is hard. It's hard to be married. It's hard raising kids. It's hard making ends meet. It's hard not watching pornography. It's hard. Everything is hard. Now, here's the thing. Everything's hard either now or later. It's either now or later. Johnny has the temptation to start drinking. So he doesn't make the hard decision at that moment, and he starts to what? 1 day goes by, 2 days go by, 10 days go by, 2 months go by. He's drinking and going out and partying and having fun and not feeling that it's hard. But if he continues that decision for the next 30, 40 years, will that decision have a negative impact in the end? There will be a consequence, right? So if it wasn't hard on him in the beginning or the front end, whatever's not hard in the front end is going to be hard on the back end. Now the other part is true too. See, now if Johnny would have made the decision, you know what, I'm not going to drink, I'm not going to even get started, because I kind of know my personality. And I know that once I fall, it's easier to fall a second time and a third time and a fourth time and get obsessive about it. I can have the tendency to run away from my problems. Alcohol would be if he went through this process, right? And he said, I'm going to do the hard thing now. Will he enjoy the benefits of that hard decision later? Everything's hard. It's hard to come home to a wife that's kind of cranky. But when you do the right thing in that situation, even when it's hard, then I guess later on, it's easy. See, the second part of this wisdom key is everything is hard, but easy after time. But easy after time. But easy after time. See, in other words, if Johnny's drinking, and it's a hard, every time he drinks, it's a decision, right? Right? Every time he drinks, it's a decision, right? Every time he turns on that computer to watch that booty shaking, that's a decision, right? And as he's making these decisions that are not hard, it's also becoming easier to do it, right? But on the other side, if he makes the decision not to do it, he gets tempted and he makes the decision not to do it again, and not to do it again, and not to do it again. Eventually, it will become easier to say no. See, write this down, you guys. In life, it's either pain now and pleasure later, or pleasure now and pain later. You guys, let me say this. My life really started about 15 years ago. When I accepted Christ as my Savior, that's when life really started for me, I feel. Because all that was happening before was failure, unsuccess, and hard living. But in the 15 years of seeing these cycles go over and over again, here's what I realized, you guys. Is that I have to become something greater. I have to become something greater all the time. And I can't do it. I have to have the direction on what needs to change. I have to have something that empowers me and inspires me to keep going forward even though it feels negative and it's hard. I have to have that thing that continually reminds me it's the right thing, what's the right thing to do, and when you do the right thing, the harvest will come. Am I the only one that needs to be constantly encouraged? So knowing that, you guys, and understanding that, in the 15 years that I really have started living, I've seen major growth patterns. You know what I mean? It's like growth, and then, whoa, what's that? And then the next level, and then, whoa. Let me explain this. Every time that my life has taken that super peak, right, it always was proceeded. Does that mean after? What proceeded before that peak was a time of challenge, a time of picking pain first, a time of doing what was hard now. The more you do what's hard now, the more pleasure you forego now, the more of your life that's focused on becoming something now will always lead those major peaks in your life. You want to have more high moments? Go through more stuff. Go through more stuff. Look at every opportunity. Make the hard decision now. Look at every opportunity. I'm going to do the painful thing now. Take the opportunity. I'm going to sacrifice now. And then you'll get those. Make sense?
Sir.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.